Hi, I'm Rosina and I live in Bristol, but I'm from Manchester.
Rosina, what inspired you to get into open water swimming?
So I was inspired to get involved because I've always loved the idea of freshwater swimming, and whenever I have had the chance to just spontaneously swim in a lake or swim in a water, not near a waterfall at least, I've always felt it resets my system and it just gives me a new chance at life to put it simply. But I really wanted to get involved in this particular opportunity at West Country Water Park, because a friend of mine was part of the recruitment team, and she sort of represents a part of, like, she represents the community that I'm part of, and I don't always see people like me in these spaces. So I think that probably helped me to feel more confident to get involved and feeling more familiar, swimming with people from my community, and then also having that experience of meeting new people that I live next door to but don't often get a chance to chat with. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
tell me a bit about the community that you've and people that you've met here.
I think it's very diverse. Um, Maybe the most diverse people are the people that I come here with, but when we're all together, it becomes a really beautiful, diverse melting pot of people just having fun and laughing in nature together. It's very friendly and very welcoming here. I find that the instructors have really held us by the hand, literally, as we get into the water. Um, yeah, I've really loved it so far.
And how do you keep safe in the water? I see you're holding a tow float there.
Well, I keep safe with this tote float. Um, yeah, it's for visibility, but it also looks really pretty when there's a whole group of us with all these beautiful
It
orange
does look
things
so
floating.
colourful, yeah.
But it's also, like, whenever I feel a bit tired, it's nice to be able to hold on to it and feel secure. Like I'm not, yeah, this is what keeps me safe.
And what advice would you give to someone looking to try open water swimming?
The advice I'd give someone who'd like to try outdoor swimming would be just go for it, because even I think, well, we're from nature, so it's nice to kind of reconnect with what we're supposed to be surrounded by daily, and in our everyday lives, we become more alienated from what's should be natural to us to be in contact with, and it's easy for us to sort of it's easy for us to develop a fear around things like water, bugs, anything that's, you know, that you don't see in your four concrete walls usually. So yeah, just give it a go. When you first get into the water, you don't have to be there for a long time, even 5 minutes, and even 30 seconds actually. The first time I swam here, it wasn't really swimming, I just dipped, and that had a profound effect on the whole day, even the whole week, because it just does something to your body that you just can't really put into words, because yeah, I guess it just helps you feel more connected to, yeah, to your body, and yeah, you just feel more aligned. So it's definitely worth it, and you'll be thankful that you did. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm from Bristol.
Morning, Paul. What inspired you to get into open water swimming?
I've always been kind of interested in swimming in lakes, and swimming was something I felt I quite old, and swimming was something I felt I could sort of do that would be different and new and kind of maybe inspire me a little bit, because running was getting a bit hard. So I started to swim here, in fact, in this lake here, and I also swam in Ireland a bit in the sea last summer. And then suddenly I stopped being interested in swimming in the pool because it was too hot and was chlorinic, and it felt better to be swimming in the lake, basically, in open water.
And what do you love about open water swimming? Or you're also a cold water swimmer as well?
Yeah, I think cold water swimming is sort of amazing, and I owe that to Open Minds Active actually, because I came to a workshop last October and got in, and I was terrified about coming. I was really, the whole week I was thinking, I'm not going to do this. And then I got there and we got in, it was 12 I think at the time, so it wasn't that cold. And it just wasn't as bad as I expected. And so I thought, well, I've done it once, so I have to keep coming. And then I came right through the winter as the water got colder and colder and colder. And I just got this amazing sort of sensation when you get out of the water and in the water, but particularly when you get out. You have 10 minutes of absolute bliss before you start to shiver.
Yeah, great. And I see you've got your tow float there, but how do you stay safe and confident in open water?
Well, I think having a hat, swimming hat, tow float, which I've always used, and then just being safe, making sure you've got other people with you. I mean, obviously here at the lake it is safe, but being careful about how you swim, making sure that people can see you, and preferably swimming with somebody else, and not going too far. I mean, not overdoing it.
And what has been so far your most memorable open water swim experience or cold water dip?
I think coming here actually when the temperature was about, I think it was 2.6, 2.8, and there was a tiny little bit of ice on the surface of the water. I was very proud, and people were swimming around holding tiny bits of ice. And I managed to stay in for about 10 minutes, I think, but that was, that was the sort of ultimate in terms of temperature. But I mean, it's always great, and in a way I regret the winter now. It'd be nice when it's November and cold again, really.
Kathy from Winterbourne.
And Fiona from Downend in Bristol.
So, Kathy, can you tell me, how did you get into open water swimming?
I've always loved water. I've always loved swimming, actually. My parents would say, as a child, I was always the one that fell in a puddle or sat in a puddle as a toddler. And then I've got a really badly curved spine. I've got spinal problems, and I found I couldn't swim for a while. I had several operations and then got an infection. Then I've gotten back through hydrotherapy, walking around the pool, swimming. And then I thought, right, a lot of my colleagues that I had before I had to retire used to go open water swimming. So I thought, I'm going to try it. So I booked on to one of Maggie's Saturday morning sessions, because it wasn't social prescribing then, in October. And I was doing it ever since until about February, so I did it all through the cold weather. Because, I missed a bit. My husband died last year, and he wasn't a good swimmer, he didn't like swimming, so I thought, now I need something else to focus on. So I did that, and I kept coming until about February, when I felt really low and struggling to come. And Open Minds rang me up and said, do you want to come on to our lake, and I've got a course going, you can join. And that's got me back into it. Since then I've come 2 or 3 times a week, and I love it.
Amazing.
Now, I have noticed a difference between winter swimming and summer swimming. It's very much cold shock in the winter and little relaxing swim in the summer.
Fiona, how did you get into open water swimming?
Well, I also used to swim a lot as a child in very cold water and just thought nothing of it, because there were no such things as heated pools then. And then a lot of my friends were doing open swimming, cold water swimming. And about 18 months ago, I was having awful problems with my knee. I was told that I had arthritis in my left knee and that I needed a knee replacement. And I was walking with a stick, and it was really limiting what I could do. I was really quite miserable. And I saw on Facebook one of Maggie's open water swimming workshops, and I came along to that. It was in February, and did the workshop. So I don't know if Maggie might remember, I was walking with a stick then, hobbling around, and I swam at the end of that session. Loved it so much I came straight back the next day, and then carried on doing it, and no surgery, no stick.
Wow.
So it really, I think for me, I got to a place where my life was about all the things I couldn't do because I was restricted by my knee pain, and suddenly this was something that I could do, and that made a really big difference to me.
So what would you say to people who are looking to try this, Kathy? What would you say if they were worried about it?
Well, I like coming to West Country Water Park. I often come on my own, but there's always a lifeguard on duty, there's always other people swimming, and I always feel safe. And there's normally someone I can join for coffee and a chat afterwards. So just give it a go. Get on one of the group courses and give it a go. And you'll either love it or hate it. It's a bit like Marmite, I think. A lot of my friends, I couldn't do that.
And Fiona, can I ask you, you've got some great kit tips. I just saw you do something with your boots there, which but when you were putting them on, and I think that
Absolutely.
would really help people to know.
So it's a lovely tip that actually one of the ladies in the changing room one day shared with me, because there is a great sense of community here and everybody supports each other and helps each other, which is brilliant. And that's to put a little plastic bag on your foot and then put your sock on. And it does make a real difference in terms of getting them on and off. So I use just little nappy sacks, which are brilliant, and then they get recycled as dog poo bags. So it's multi-purposing. So yeah, it makes a real difference. But because I like to wear my socks.
Why do you like to wear your socks?
I'm not too keen on the squelchy clay at the bottom of the lake. I love the lake, but the squelchy clay between my toes is not my favourite. Keeps my feet warm in the cold water as well.
Yeah, so I'm Ali and I'm from near Bristol.
And Ali, how did you get into open water swimming?
Well, I came initially to a cold water swimming workshop in November, and never having done open water swimming before, didn't even know there was a difference between open water swimming and cold water swimming. And so I started in November just last year, so 7-8 months ago, and haven't stopped since.
Amazing. And are there any rituals or routines that you follow before or after a swim?
Well, make sure I've got all my kit, and I got a massive bag, so I just take everything, every towel, everything I need in my bag. I usually come with other people, so my usual ritual is that my friend Jane gets in first, then me, because I'm not quite as brave, and then the other Ali gets in after me. So we do have a bit of a ritual, and if one of us is missing, it feels a bit weird.
And what about your kit? I see you've got a toe float.
Yeah, so toe float really, I suppose, apart from swimming costume, is the main thing I always have. And I'd never used anything like it before, and thought, oh gosh, it's going to be really annoying. But actually, it just kind of floats along behind you. It's kind of easy peasy. This one puts a water bottle in. That's really handy. So yeah, that's kind of my piece of safety kit. But you don't even notice it's there, which is great.
And what has been your most memorable open water swim experience to date?
Oh, well, that's got to be the ice on top of the water when it was about 2.6 degrees. And I think I swam into a bit and wondered what the heck it was. Then, of course, you've got to swim around carrying your bit of ice, haven't you? So it was classic. And I'm just so proud of myself for doing it, really. It's I'm not the most confident swimmer, or I wasn't, but I do feel a lot more confident now. I don't think I ever want to go back in a swimming pool, really.
Hi, I'm Annette from Bristol.
Welcome, Annette. Annette, how did you get into open water swimming?
Well, a friend of mine did it, and she was like trying to get me in for a year, and I was like, no, I really hate cold water, I would die. And she's like, no, please try it. And then so I was going through a lot with my 10 children, so I had a social prescriber, and she was like, well, just go and try it. If you like it, then you can stay. And now, a year on, I'm still doing it.
And
I absolutely love it.
how does it make you feel? What do you like most about it?
Free. As soon as you get in, nobody can call you, nobody can say something's wrong. You're just free. You're in nature. It's just so relaxing. Even when it's 3 degrees, it's still just as nice.
And have you got any kit tips? I see you've got your toe float there, but for people who are new, they might be thinking, oh gosh, what kit do I need? So what do you use?
I use obviously the toe float and the Orca socks to keep your feet warm when it gets cold, and the gloves, and the dry bag, very necessary when you get out because everything's dripping.
Brilliant. And what's been your most memorable swim?
Getting in at 3 degrees.
Where was that?
Henleys.
Oh, at Henley's Lake in North
Yeah.
Bristol.
Yeah, Henleys Lake in Bristol. Yeah, that was really. It was okay. I think it was worse when you first start. You know, that feels colder, even though it was 17 degrees. That feels much colder than 3 degrees when you get used to it.
And you feel that you've acclimatised over the weeks?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And how many times do you swim now?
Twice a week.
And
As soon as my children get to school, I'll be going nearly every day.